Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great start in your week. Today I want to discuss about biophilic design from the comfort of my home. As I mentioned during my weekend video clip when I was making my pasta, I provided a little tip, which was examine the type of light that you have within your apartment, your home, wherever you're going to be incorporating plants, creating a little oasis. It's important to look at that because you just don't want to end up killing your plants. So look at what type of light you have. Is it low light, medium light, bright light, or direct sunlight? That will dictate the type of plant that you should purchase. So I don't have, unfortunately, direct sunlight, but I do have a bright space. So tropical plants are the best candidates to incorporate within your design. On the right hand side, I have the red prayer, it's called. I said prayer, not player. It's a beautiful plant. As soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. It has this great red veining going within the leaf. And I fell in love with it because it's just low in maintenance. It requires minimal watering and low light. We all have busy lifestyles, even if you're, let's say, a housewife, you have children, you have to take them to school, you have a career. I'm always on the go, traveling. I'm always afraid I'm going to kill my plants. So that's why I always make an effort to do a little study of what are the lowest maintenance plants. So the red prayer is one of them. Then the one on the left hand side, excuse me, is the calathea. The calathea is also a great candidate for an indoor plant. It requires bright light. That's why I have it close to my window. Again, I don't have direct sunlight because that will damage the leaves and it will end up killing the plant. And it also requires minimum watering. Below, I have, he's so cute. And I feel he's adorable. And I say he because the name of it is Sunny. And a lot of people will think that because the name is Sunny, that he requires a lot of sun. But he actually doesn't. He requires low to medium light. The great thing about plants is, besides that they provide great color and it introduces, it's a live being, it really reduces anxiety and stress. They're great air purifiers. They absorb the carbon dioxide and they release oxygen, so that makes our breathing much easier. Another little tip that I want to provide you is incorporating stones or rustic pieces like the one behind me is a great way to introduce texture and earthy elements to kind of give that right vibe. It's important to know with what type of palette you're working with. I always like keeping the walls, which is the first layer as I like to call it, very crisp, clean, and fresh. Because when you put the next layer, which is your decorative elements, either that's a painting or a decorative piece like the one behind me, or the whitewashed plant right next to me, it will stand out more and it will balance like that the space. A lot of my clients are afraid when I select as wall colors a very crisp white or a gray tone. They always think because I'm Greek that I love to bring in whites. The truth of the matter is that when you have these type of colors that are very clean, then you can take advantage of that and you can play with the space in multiple ways. You can play with textures, you can bring in colors. It's a lot more versatile. Of course, you can have more fun with color, but you have to examine the type of style you're going with within your room. Not everyone is an expert. Your designers that you're hiring, they've traveled, we've been trained with colors and furniture and fabrics, so we know how to work with all these elements. It's not as easy as you think. That's why it's imperative when you hire a designer that you really communicate what you love, what you don't love, what we like to see in the space, what's the feel that you want to create, in order to execute your idea, your vision as best as possible. Thank you for listening to me. These are a few tips for creating a bohemian design. So to conclude, study your color palette, go with a crisp white wall or a very light gray, incorporate plants. You can work with creams, bring textures, earthy elements, rustic elements. Don't be afraid to play with texture. And I mean, as you can see, a great combination is grays, creams, whites, and of course a splash of color, which in our case is green. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again soon.